Wicker King's died as well?
I'm sure. Someone's died from everything.
Probably. Someone's died from just having a cup of tea.
What a sad way to pass.
Or is it a really peaceful way? Just having my tea? Oh.
Is that how you're gonna die? Not very dramatic.
It's just disappointing. It's like, oh,
damn it. I wasn't done with that book.
That's forever. I'm never gonna finish enough books. Hi BookTube, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Rebecca.
And today is March.
You had to sing it, remember?
Today is March. March! Wait till June, then I can do June is busting out all over.
Anyway, it's March. We're reading books again.
This is like we always do, or sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot, really.
Why
are we here? What are we doing here? And this is what we're gonna read. It's partially Rereadathon.
Yes.
And part of it is Sequelathon, but that's not in this video.
No, we're gonna talk about that.
That's in a later video.
We'll talk about that later.
You just hold your horses.
Calm
down.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Put your ponies in the box. That's the saying, right?
Put your... in a box.
Put your ponies back in the box.
In the box.
In the little...
Is it like...
Where do they... The stable! They go in the stable! Put your ponies in the stable. Nailed it. First book I'm gonna read, I'm reading for Brandy. At Brandy Reads. Because we love Brandy. And she like freaked out one day in our chat. It was like, oh my god, this book! Everyone read it!
That's right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah. It's The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum. And it did sound interesting. It's about like these two boys and one of them like sees this fantasy world and like as the book progresses you're kind of like, is this fantasy world real or whatnot? It's kind of told in like, there's a lot of
I do remember.
And like, like
do
letters.
Do like a flip. Do you want me to do a flip through so they can see the pages?
Yeah, they get progressively.
Can you? I don't know if that shows up. They
I
get
think so.
They get darker. They get maybe it means something.
Ooh,
probably.
Maybe. Yeah, it starts off with like an arrest record for one of them, and then you're kind of like, unraveling the story of what happened and things they did when they were kids.
I like this sort of like role playing in a book. Being like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm reading an arrest report.
Yeah.
It's not a book.
What have I stumbled upon?
Some records. Oh,
'Tis real.
solve this mystery.
Yeah, I'll solve this mystery. The next book I'm also reading for a friend, Jocelyn. I have
oh my
like,
god, we all need to read this.
I know, I have like a million books that Jocelyn wants me to read. I'm actually thinking about having like a Jocelyn reading month where I just read books that Jocelyn keeps telling me to read.
I like that, I like that.
Yeah, but this is The Victoria in My Head by Janelle Milanes. Oh my god, now I don't remember what it's about. I know it's like cute contemporary.
I mean, that's what it looks like. You can tell that from the
I know,
names.
right? It seems to be about a girl who's kind of shy, but she like wants to be a rock star, and then she meets like an actual kind of rocker, and I guess it's like a romance between them. Yeah, I feel like generally I'm not into, I love music, but for some reason I don't like reading about musicians so much, but I have like made exceptions and have enjoyed it in the past.
I feel like in books they're represented as these real like music hipsters who are like,
Yeah.
they're listening to some weird B-sides of some indie band I've never heard of.
And it's like the extreme version of the bad boy to a point.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe not extreme. I guess it's a more realistic version of the bad boy, but I still don't like him. It's interesting because I also like have only really dated musicians, and I'm not like interested in musicians.
That's fair.
Like I don't see a band and be like, oh my god, do you see the guitarist? And I'm like, he looks like an idiot. I don't know.
That's
like
fair.
I'm not attracted to someone just because they're musically talented.
That's fair.
You know, I was just thinking, I think I do like guys who are musically talented, but usually when they play something that's generally seen as a bit more feminine. Like the violin.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Mm.
Or just like
Penis.
more sensitive.
I said it right?
I thought you just meant they played the penis, because that would be more feminine.
Yes, the penis. The skin flute, if we will.
Oh my god.
We're back!
And that was
Next book I want to read is a new one, which I don't do
It's
very
new.
often. It's a new one.
I'm interested in this too, which is unusual for new books.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been looking at it and peering at it.
Maybe I'll toss it your way.
Just throw it on.
Y'all whip it all the way to the
Throw the
kitchen.
book at me. Yes, you'll have to go so far.
It's We Set the Dark on Fire by Taylor K. Mejia. I know it seems to be about girls who are like trained, it's like a dystopian kind of world, and girls can only like have a few different fates, and one of them is they could like marry a rich man and be one of his wives.
Yeah.
But they have to like go to a school for it, and it's about a girl who is being married off to someone, and I believe she falls in love with another girl.
Yeah, I thought it was like, does she want to have the easy married life, or does she want progressive change, but she'll have to maybe have wine on her shirt if she wants to do it.
I'm succeeding!
I also read that the author's vegan. I wanted to read it before I found out to be vegan, just to be clear.
I never think that that's like...
Oh my god, I couldn't go around just reading vegan authors. That'd be weird.
It's really hard to find, too. I feel like that's not...
Yeah.
Despite what everyone thinks about vegans, just spraying it everywhere and talking about being vegan.
Because of that dumb joke that's like decades old, we just tend to not tell anybody.
Yeah, I feel like you wouldn't know that someone's even vegan.
Alright, I'll do one.
Okay. She's gonna do one.
I'm gonna do a darker shade of magique.
Magique.
Probably everyone knows what this is about, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is not new. It's popular. This bandwagon is well gone, and I'm going back to it.
You're running after it.
Come back. I'm reading this because it sounded kind of fun and like maybe my cup of tea. Because I love like urban magic.
Yeah, me too.
Like historical urban, like London. I love an old London-y. Anyway, I like that sort of thing. It's magic. There are multiple Londons. And I'm reading this, yeah, I'm already reading it, so March has already started, I've already started it. Are we on to Rereadathon?
Yes, my next books are for Rereadathon. I'll link, or I'll put information down below because I don't know all of it. I'm not doing any of the challenges.
Yeah, I'm sort of passively doing Rereadathon.
Yeah, I never reread books, honestly.
I do, but it's not that often.
Yeah?
I used to reread Harry Potter regularly.
Me too.
But I just don't anymore.
Yeah. I feel like my last reread was Holes last year when we were trying to get out of a reading slump. That was the first reread probably since I reread.
I liked rereading Holes.
Like Harry Potter, something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But I am really looking forward to doing this.
It feels like comfy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just interested because some of the books I haven't read in a while, and some of them I've just... Actually, all of them I've become a more critical reader since then. Still not super critical, but... The first one is Sabriel by Garth Nix, which I always called her Sabriel when I was growing up, and then everyone says Sabriel, and it is Gabriel with an S, so...
Yeah, but I mean, language is weird.
I know, but Sabriel sounds better to me.
Sabriel does.
Right?
I guess that'd be like if you had two L's and an E.
Yeah, like Gabrielle.
It's fine. You
Whatever.
You want to say Sabriel? That's like...
Yeah, you do you.
When I read his Dark Materials, I remember saying it's like Lyra, and I remember saying like Lyra or something for like years, and then being like, I can't adjust now, that's fine. It's too far.
It's too messed up in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read this when I was 15, I think.
Oh, I like
so
it. It has sort of retro art.
I have doubled in age since the last time I read this, if I'm looking at it like that.
Actually, yeah, I have as well since
Isn't
I
it
read
like
that book.
Bananas? Like, the only thing I really remember is that it is about a necromancer, and I love necromancy and like necromancer stories, and I wonder if it's because of this book or if it was before this book.
Childhood inspiration.
Yeah. But I'm so excited because I put this, like, I considered this a favorite for a long time just because I remember loving it that much. But the next two are, oh my god, a book and a sequel, and it's Angel Fall, part of the, oh god, I don't remember what the actual, End of Days series by Susan E. I read these when I was working at Sweetie High, actually. They sent me the third book.
What, 2015?
Yeah. I used to...
Was that long?
It was a while ago. It doesn't feel like it. We used to work at like this really small like startup at the same time. But I would periodically write like book reviews for the blog, and they publishers started sending me books, and one of them was I got End of Days by Susan E. And I hadn't read any of the others. We didn't like ask for it. They just like would randomly send me books. And I was like, well, I guess I have to read the first two. So I did read them, and I remember really liking them. And it's about like a post-apocalypse, angels have caused the apocalypse, like take over the world thing. I found it really fun. It's definitely like more romance. Like it's kind of a romance between like a human and one of the angels who's like got his wings torn off, I think. But it was so fun. Like, I remember really enjoying it. I think I'll get through these pretty quickly, because I did the first time around, and yeah.
On the apocalypse note...
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Speaking of apocalypse, I'm rereading Good Omens. It's Terry Pratchett, it's Neil Gaiman. I think everybody knows this book. It's a TV show, like, today. I'm rereading it before I watch the series, because I haven't read it in well over a decade. I don't know, a really long time. But I really liked it. I've had a hard time getting into Terry Pratchett because his language is just so over the top, like whimsy, comical, bizarre.
It's hard to like know where to start with Terry Pratchett too.
Oh, I always want to read the Discworld series, but it's like 30 books.
Yeah, like wait, do you start at book 1?
Like literally, like I found online people have made like flow charts, and it didn't start with the first book he wrote. Like it was so complicated.
Are you ever interested in trying to together tackle the Discworld series?
I might. I don't know about the whole thing, but we could like start somewhere.
Let's start it and see how we
feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I liked this as a starting point for Terry Pratchett because it's it's a standalone, and Neil Gaiman's language is recognizable in this as well. And I heard that one of the things that Terry Pratchett said to Neil Gaiman, like shortly before his death, was he was like, adapt this book. That was such a good book. You have to do it. And that's why Neil Gaiman is actually show running. Which apparently is like horribly stressful, and he doesn't have time to do anything. He's like, he just worked a bunch on American Gods, and he's like, this is hard and I don't know if I like it, but Terry said he wanted me to, so I'm doing it. So I saw that in an interview, and it seemed very heartfelt. So now I want to watch the TV show too.
I guess it's been a long time since you've read it, but how do you feel about it in line with like Gaiman's other books?
It's very noticeably Terry Pratchett.
Okay.
Terry Pratchett is a little Douglas Adams-y.
Okay. My last book that I want to reread is Of Metal and Wishes by Sarah Fine. This is a pretty loose Phantom of the Opera retelling.
Ooh.
Yeah, so from what I remember, it is about a girl who, like, assists her father. Her father's a doctor who works at this factory, and it's really bad working. Doctor. Yeah. It's like, it takes place a while ago, and it's like awful working conditions, there's no unions or anything. So he has to like, so he has to like care for people who are like getting eaten into machines and stuff like that, and she assists him. And there's a possible like ghost in the factory where you could like leave him.
Factory ghost.
Yeah, I wonder who that's supposed to be in Phantom of the Opera. And you can like leave him little gifts, and I don't remember I know she leaves the ghost gifts. I don't remember what she wishes for. I can't remember. But there's also a man that she has a love interest who is treated badly because of like where he comes from. That's what I remember. I know that there's like a lot of slut shaming in this.
Okay.
And in a way that the protagonist also is very slut shaming, but what I remember, it's portrayed in a way that's like, this is how she was raised. The narrative.
So it's aware.
Yes, like the narrative isn't portraying this as like, this is a good thing, we shouldn't slut shame people, but the protagonist is like, this is so ingrained in her. Where she like, a guy like kind of like touched her and she was like, I wore like a bright color, I shouldn't have done that, I'm such an idiot. Like,
that's almost like going obvious enough to.
Yeah.
It's like see how over the top this is, which at the time that would have made more sense.
Exactly. And I do feel like she learns a bit at the end, but that's like the biggest complaint I hear about this book. But I really loved it at the time, and I'd like to continue with the series, but I don't fucking remember it enough to do that.
Keep an eye out for our next video, because this one for us is really all leading up to and all about Sequelathon, which is our first readathon that we're hosting.
Yeah.
And it's all about continuing the series.
Yes. Please do that with us.
Yeah. Yeah, do it.
Do it. Let us know if you want to read Discworld.
Yeah, but not right
now. No. Like it's a big planned out thing.
The whole thing.
Have you done it? How do we tackle Discworld? Like,
do you have a recommended flow chart?
For this book series. Oh man.
All right. Catch you next time, BookTube.